1, 2, 1, 2. T-O-M, teachers of Maat. Who am I today? The scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to re-emerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sown from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up, it's none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kemp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip was slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is Kodak. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that? Ocean motions, I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing, knee of speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Ptah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution, you can't escape from where Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keep a record on the record, I break records. This, that, Medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, Trinity. We are not the same, not even simile. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, king, lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a who I earned. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is sound for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the traps. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Ba is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks are stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living. We're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yeah, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect, best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Nature, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, nectar, Kurt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt, not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep.
is the whole purpose of actually doing the Midnighter class on the Purim Haru, was to get everybody in the mind state of Hika, because the Purim Haru is a book of Hika. It's a book of magic. It's a book of immortality, out-of-body experiences. It's a book of several spells. It is all about the other realm and its connection to this realm and how you can merge the two. So I just never allowed the questions of actual ritual or magical practice other than the one-on-one. You'll see it looks like a sieve. Everybody know what a sieve is?
No.
A sieve is like a strainer. You can pour rice on it and only the water will go through, or you separate. It's like a screen. You pour something on it and it separates things. Thinner aspects can go through the K. Today's equivalent is a K or a Q. So we have Kes, which is bone, body, skeleton. The inner part of you that actually produces the blood within the bone marrow. So it's flesh and blood, which is bones, which is the Kes. So here, Kes ties in again is homage. Kes. Whether it's spelled like that or spelled like any of the other 20 ways that the beautiful thing with the men. Venus came from, and how Venus associates with an actual shining planet, and how that became the Lucifer of Christianity, which is the Luic cipher, the encircled light, which sometimes can be Venus, and sometimes can be. The Kenti was the royal area of the beginnings. That's where the modern day Greek historians say that men came. That when they went and talked to the so-called Ethiopians, they said that that Kemet was an area reestablished.
There is no spoon.
Hotep, peace and love. We live? Peace. Hotep, peace and love. Welcome to another beautiful show. What's up, Ani? Peace,
What's
brother.
up, good brother? Peace.
Menkhu must have fell off, but anyway, welcome to Teachings of My Study Guide Sunday. Today's topic is Music in Ancient Egypt, the Kemetic Teachings on Sound and Creation by the great Ani Ptah Aten Tehuti. Before we begin, we will do as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Unki and Maat, Un in S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Men Hepapet and Maat, Her in Hukui, Per Ikut. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep, everybody. I am the great Atef Rim Kim Ma'at. I am the chairman of the organization, the Teachings of Ma'at. I am a student of the master teacher, the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at, a true-hearted follower based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, a lover of my people, dedicated to learning the metal netta, and a loyal defender of Maat. Next, we have the General, the great Ahati Maat, was taught under the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating, and he is also responsible for this weekly study guide, Teachings of Maat. Next, we have the mighty Menkhu Meri Maat. Menkhu specializes in educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live and shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Menkhu has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies, providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in Madison for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for Madison School Community Recreation: Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 Music for Youth. And next, we have the presenter for the night, the mighty scribe, Ptah Aten Tehuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Maat, a scribe of Tehuti and Maat. He studies under the master teacher, Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writing and creations to assist in awakening dormant DNA and reversing negative hypnosis. Welcome, everybody, to a great show. TeachingsOfMaat.org. Peace, brother.
Peace. All right, Hotep, everyone. Tell me how my everyone in the chat out there too. Let me know how my sound effects sound, if they're too loud or they sound good.
Sound good, brother.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let me
What about mine, bro?
sound excellent.
Okay.
Let me try one more thing out here. Let me try one more thing before we get started. Let me know how this sounds. Is it loud? Say again.
It's good.
It sound loud? Louder than it was before?
Yeah. Sound like it's marching.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Hotep, everyone. Peace and love. Welcome to another class here. Teachingsofmaat.org, as the great brother Tef says. Make sure you all go to the website. So before, I'm sure Menkhu Ara will pop in when his internet fixes itself. So first I want to, of course, say hinu to everyone who's here live, who's watching here on YouTube and also on Rumble. So peace and love to everyone there. And at any point in time, and everyone, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and share this out to your platforms. So if you all want to support the teachings of Maat and support what we bring forth, we have the link in the chat as well. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Cash App, PayPal, Teachings of Maat. Send us some support at any point in time that you feel like you learned something new or anything that you appreciated. Let us know that you do appreciate it and you appreciate us by supporting us. So at any point in time, make sure to utilize those links so we can continue to keep doing what we're doing. We have the in-person meetup coming next month, the Pathways to Awakening celebration. Everyone get your tickets. Hinu to everyone who have already purchased their tickets. I see you all. I'm still waiting on a few more people for that notification to come up and say, hey, this person purchased their ticket. So make sure you all go ahead and get your tickets, so that way you can go ahead and make sure that everything is in alignment and you're prepared. So make sure you scan that QR code right there, or go to teachingsofmaat.org/events. October 28th, 2023, Momoda Studios in Los Angeles, California. Our great Saba Tehuti will be coming out. This is everyone's opportunity to meet the great Saba Tehuti in person. So take advantage of it if it's for you. I also want to give a shout out to all the Teachings of Maat members, Hotep and Hinu, to all of you. This is the Maat Wisdom Wednesday class that I hold for all of the members. This is a free class that I hold for them. So if you want to become a member, just reach out to me through the website, teachingsofmaat.org, and ask how to join us and what we're doing and what we're building. We're doing some amazing things, and this is just the beginning of something excellent. And as a new RIN will be attached to our organization at the event that our great Saba Tehuti will be giving us. So we will also be proclaiming a new RIN to go along with TOM. So this is continuously growing, and we love each and every person who comes forth and says, hey, I want to be a member, and who is consistent. So this is why I wanted to start this class for you all, so we can stay in the wisdom writings and the Seba'it, to stay in alignment, stay guided, make sure that we're keeping Ma'at within our consciousness, within our subconscious. So this is what this is. So Hotep to all the great members. Next class will be October 4th. So all members, go ahead and put that on your calendar. October 4th will be the next meeting. Metanetter Monday. Metanetter Monday is absolutely fantastic. So just reach out to our great Saba Tehuti, mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. You can purchase those classes. You can get the recordings, free will donation of at least $20, and hours worth of teachings from our great Saba Tehuti. So take advantage of it while it's still available. All right. Now let me give some adoration to the 2 people who sent in support throughout the week prior to the class. So first, I want to both active members of the Teachings of Ma'at, fantastic members, wonderful supporters. Stephen E. For 1572 for 9/16/23 pod class. Tua Nefer Sanu. Hotep, good brother Stephen E. I think I saw you in the chat. Yeah, there he is. Hotep Ma'at, peace and love. Hotep to you, great brother. Wonderful supporter. Metanetter student, Teachings of Ma'at member. And I look forward to you also reaching out to our great Saba Tehuti in regards to receiving your RIN from the great Saba. So Hotep to you, good brother. Tua for your support. All right, and next we have the good brother Nook Poo, who sends 333. Hotep Meri, Hinu Natirus, Ma'at Karu, Dejed Ma'at. All right, Hotep, good brother Nook Poo, who is who is Roberto Reyes, Ma'akaru Amun Ray in the chat, Hinu, Hotep, Meri, Saba, Neter, Tehuti. Absolutely. Tua to you, good brother. And we appreciate you and everything that you're doing. We know that things are moving around for you to be able to partake in more of the classes, which is excellent. You know, that goes to show Maat is working for you, great brother. So Hotep, and continue to keep doing what you're doing and continuing to support. And we appreciate you, good brother. Nukpu, Nukpu. All right, so that's the support that we received in through the week. Make sure you all utilize those links here. Let me put the banner that scrolls across for a reminder. Reminder for everyone: Cash App, Teachings of Maat; PayPal, Teachings of Maat. All right, Hotep Master K, peace to you. We see you. Stranger, Hotep to the good brother Stranger. Good to see you here. Nefer Keperet says sounds good too. Absolutely. Hotep and everyone give Nefer Keperet some Hinu for me. She assists me so much behind the scenes. She allows me to save hours and hours that would usually take me that I would have to utilize, but she takes a lot of time away from me for me to engage more into just the teachings and the studies, and to bring forth these type of presentations to you all. So everyone give Hinu to Nefer Keperet. Shannon Southard, peace, beautiful goddess, Nefer Keperet. Peace to you, Shannon Southard, formerly known as. So I look forward to hearing your new tone, sound, vibration, and the transformation that's going to come with that. Hotep to you. V.RI puts a flame in the chat. Hotep. Angela Gates, always one of the first ones in the live. Hotep to you, good sister. Peace and love. All right. So let me see. Hopefully my sound remains working the right way. Okay, so before I get started, good brother Tefrim Kim Maat, do you have anything that you want to say?
Looking forward to them tones, Ani. Looking forward to what you're going to bring forth, my brother.
All right, Tua. There he is, right on time.
Going to bring forth, my brother.
Peace, Menkhu Ara. Meri
What's
Maat.
up? Peace.
All right. I was just about to start class, but since you came in, do you have anything that you would like to speak before we go in?
Tour to the chat. Peace to the Nestle BTs on the panel. Peace and love to Saba Tehuti and his Neturks. Happy to be here. Hope everybody's doing well. Looking forward to October 28th. I got something special for everybody. I have a surprise. So I'm looking forward to all the people who will be there. Yeah, just a little something special, a little something extra for everybody that is coming through to show our Saba Tehuti some love and meet us and celebrate our 1 year anniversary of Teachings of Maat, and celebrate Saba's 2 year anniversary of the pod class. So I love leaving the city I live in. I'm excited about going to LA. Looking forward to the talent show. I love art, music, history, culture. So being in LA is way different than where I live. And this will be like my first Maat Kemetic celebration that I think I've ever participated in. I've never been to any like conferences. I've not gone to Kemet yet. So I think this is going to be, well, let me take that back. When the brothers got their Ren, that was definitely a Kemetic Maat celebration. When I got my Ren, it was a Kemetic Maat celebration. But in terms of the chat and the community and us all getting together with Saba, this will be the first one of its kind. So I'm looking forward to it and have something special for everyone that attends. So I'm looking forward to this beautiful, powerful presentation the great Ani Ptah is about to do. Peace and love. That's all I have for now.
That's what I said. I'm looking forward to the tones, good brother. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Let me see.
Shout out to the great Primordial Thought 9. Peace and love to you, good brother. Sending you powerful light.
Absolutely. Primordial Thought 9, our great moderator. Is he in the chat?
I haven't seen him, brother.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, he will be here. Hotep to that good brother.
Yeah, we
peace
want
to
to say
Eric G.
peace and love to your family, Primordial, whatever was happening on Friday. We send our energy and our support for whatever is happening and hope everything is going well. Sorry, Anya, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, thank you, good brother. Yes, absolutely. Sending great energy to our good brother, Primordial Thought 9. Okay. All right, let me pull
Peace
this
and
up.
love, Eric G. Peace and love to you, good brother. Eric G, that's it.
Eric G, that's it. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's get into it. Music in ancient Egypt. The Kemetic teachings on sound and creation. And we see the Hemets, we see the Neterets in the background clapping, which is also a form of instrumentation, creating music. All right, so let's get into it. All right, screen is sharing. All right, music in ancient Egypt, the teachings, the Kemetic teachings on sound and creation, brought into existence by scribe Ani Ptah Aten Tehuti. All right, let's get moving. All right, it's a beautiful image of some sisters right here playing some music, playing some instrumentation. Got the double reed flute, got the harp here and a tambourine. So if we ask anyone today, what is music? Their response will be rhythmic sounds we listen to, or something around there. They'll say something that we listen to, some sounds that are put together. The explanation stops there. Our great Saba Tehuti has brought forth that the etymology of music comes from mus and men, meaning to think. Now, let me explain to you why music is connected with thought. So here is the etymology of music that has been shown quite a few times, and that we all should know by now. And but this is for the people who may be new coming in, who do not know this. So the etymology of music goes back to musicae, a pleasing succession of sounds or a combination of sounds. The science of combining sounds in rhythmic, melodic, and later harmonic order. From Old French musique and directly from Latin musica, the art of music, and also including poetry. So poetry is also under the umbrella of music. Also source of Spanish musica, Italian musica, Danish music, from Greek music, techne, art of the muses, from feminine, musicals pertaining to the muses. Here we have musical and educated. From Musa, Muse, right here, Muse, one of the 9 muses of classical mythology, the daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne. Protectors of the arts. Old French muse and directly from Latin musa, from Greek musa, the muse, also music, song, ultimately pyru, men, meaning to think, meaning inspiring goddess of a particular poet. So here we see music being associated with musicality and education. From Muse, the 9 muses, the daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne. Going back to men, meaning to think. So we see through the etymology that the word music is from the Greek musike, techni, the art of the muses. Who are these muses and why are they associated with education? Pertaining to the muses, musical, educated. For those of you who may be new to this information, the Greeks openly taught that they learned from the Nile Valley people, the followers of Maat, when words started to be created from the mother tongue, the Meduneter, the words of God, the divine decree, the sacred writings. Not only were actual vibrational tones copied, but also the concepts and teachings became embedded within the words created by those who learned the remech, which is another word for the Egyptians. The remech or the wretch or the reth, man, men, mankind, Egyptians. So here is an image of the Greek Apollo and the 9 muses by John Singer Sargent, 1921, via the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. So these are the 9 muses who you always see with Apollo, which we know Apollo is the sun, one of the sun gods in the Greek mythology. Of course, coming from Kemet and Ra and Heru. And then here we go as well. Here's some a British Museum number 1680405.159. A cylindrical marble base carved in relief with a depiction of the 9 muses. On top, 4 dowel holes and traces of a less weathered circular imprint, presumably evidence that the base once held a circular metal object with 4 low supports. The Hellenistic culture period, production date 150 BC to 50 BCE. So these are the 9 muses here, and we're going to get into who the muses are, because this is what creates your word music today. So once we begin to understand why it's music and why it's connected to thought, because as I just showed, we taught the Greeks. So what they implemented and what they brought forth that everyone else here today follows and says these words. When you say music, you're literally giving direct energy and homage to the muses, which they have a origin point too. But unless you know that, it'll always lead you back to the Greek. Okay, so knowing this allows us to research what the Greeks teach and trace it to its origin source, which belonged to the followers of Maat, the Kamamu. It's another word for the Egyptians. So we got the Remech, the Kamamu. Root word kem, which means to be complete and also means black. So if we know the word music is directly from the Greek and they define what it is, we must investigate. Today, we can look at our music industry and know how much power and influence it has on the youth and the world. So what is musike techni, where the word derives from? Right here, Greek musike techni, the arts of the muses. So let's look at what that is. So we're going to go into the 4 historical definitions of architecture by Stephen Parcell, page 22. So here we go. Archaic Greece did not distinguish between craft techniques and feats of magic. So just even that right there, there was no difference between magic and crafting something, because there was no difference in Kemet between the two. Homer indicates that artisans made not only objects for daily use, but also things that were exceptional in action or appearance, devices that produced magical effects, the thaumata, and finally crafted luxury items for nobility, the daedala. Their mentor was Daedalus, the mythical artisan who made things that were even more wondrous, including a costume to seduce a bull, a labyrinth to contain a minotaur, and wax wings to escape from the labyrinth. Metal workers also looked to Hephaistos, the patron blacksmith, who, for those of you who do not know, Hephaistos is Ptah. So metal workers also looked to Hephaistos, the patron blacksmith, who could make magical objects that move and spoke by themselves, automata. Although the abilities attributed to Daedalus and Hephaistos were superior to those of human descendants, difference was a matter of degree, not of kind. They used the same type of intelligence and sought similar effects. This continuity and rapport among gods, mythical ancestors, and humans was prevalent in ancient Greece. Techne in archaic Greece encompassed a wide range of occupations, including prophets, healers, legislators, builders, minstrels, carpenters, blacksmiths, metalworkers, potters, acrobats, cooks, navigators, and horse trainers. Some occupations were more manual, some were more intellectual. Techne included subjects that our modern era would categorize as sciences, crafts, and arts. It could result in a physical object, a house, a painting, a performance, a song or a dance, or an altered condition, health in humans, or training in horses. So the musica techne originally was connected to science, and also something physical, to crafts, to physical objects as well. So it wasn't just like how it is today. Music is separated from those things as if they're different. And so it's important to understand this and why they brought this forth the way that they did. Its activities could be done both inside and outside the home by both men and women. These diverse occupations may suggest that techne encompassed every activity that requires skill or manual labor, but it did not. Techne did not include agriculture. A farmer releases the earth's natural fertility, whereas an artisan shapes natural substance into a different form for human use. So that's the difference. That's why agriculture doesn't fall under techne, which creates the word technical. It's to be under the realm of techne, it has to be something that can be shaped. So in archaic and early classical Greece, techne was a classification below music. Music was a ritualized fusion of poetry, music, and dance that relied on divine inspiration. The gods would breathe words into poets, song into musicians, and motion into dancers. Unlike techne, music was overseen by the muses and inspired directly by the gods. A clear line was drawn between them. The poet was animated by a divine spirit as an instrument of those forces which direct the world and maintain order in it, whereas the artisan was merely one who preserved the stock of knowledge inherited from his ancestors. Poets relied not only on divine guidance, but also on skills they had acquired from their ancestors, indicating that their disciplines spanned both music and techne. Conversely, the building of a temple or a significant civic structure required not just techne, but also divine guidance. On behalf of a patron or a city, an official envoy called theros, the root of the words theoria and theory, would be sent on a pilgrimage to consult with an oracle at a location such as the sanctuary at Delphi. The Theros received instructive words or signs from the oracle, then returned to the city to deliver them. As a messenger between the divine realm and the mortal realm, the Theros had to be an extremely reliable, high-ranking citizen. Meanwhile, the architecton, which creates architecture, remained at home and was not involved directly in the theoretical activity. Later, he will receive divine instructions indirectly from the Theros and the civic community, or the civic committee, to guide his activities in the realm of the techni. Okay, so that's what techni, when you have music and you have techni right there, and it has art of the muses. So we can have greater context of what the word music comes from, and why we don't utilize the same magic that was used on us. So the Greeks taught that music is a ritualized fusion of poetry, music, and dance that relied on divine inspiration. This was overseen by the muses. Let us take a look into what the Greek historian of the 1st BCE has to say in the Bible he wrote. Yes, in his own Bible. So this is Diodorus Siculus in his Bible of history, because Biblio, Bible from Biblios, which means any collection of books. So this is also a Bible. The Bibliothecae Historicae by Diodorus Siculus of 1st century BCE. So the Library of History of Diodorus Siculus, published in Volume 1 of the Loeb Classical Library Edition, 1933. The text is in the public domain. This page has been carefully proofread, and I believe it to be free of errors. Bibliotheca Historica, 1746. All right, now let's read what he has to say about the muses and about the gods. So these 5 deities, they say, visited all the inhabited world, revealing themselves to men in the form of sacred animals, and at times even appearing in the guise of men or in other shapes. Nor is this a fabulous thing, but possible, if these are in very truth the gods who give life to all things. And also the poet who visited Egypt and became acquainted with such accounts as these from the lips of the priest in some place in his writings, sets forth in actual fact what has been said. The gods and strangers form from alien lands, frequent the cities of men in every guise, observing their insolence and lawful ways. Now, so far as the celestial gods are concerned, whose genesis is from eternity, this is the account given by the Egyptians, per Diodorus Siculus. So this is chapter 13. And besides, there are other gods, they say, who were terrestrial, having once been mortals, but who, by reason of their sagacity and the good services which they rendered to all men, attained immortality, some of them having even been kings in Egypt. Their names, when translated, are in some cases the same as those of the celestial gods, while others have distinct appellation, such as Helios, Kronos, and Rhea, and also the Zeus, who is called Ammon by some. So, of course, because these are Greeks, they will utilize a lot of the Greek names when in their writings. But when we know where they originate from, we can substitute these names for the Natiru, because that's literally what they are. They're the Natiru. They're just being told in a Greek story. And also the Zeus, who is also called Ammon by some, and besides these, Hera and Hephaestus, also Hestia, and finally Hermes, which is Tehuti. Helios was the first king of the Egyptians, which is talking about Ra, his name being the same as that of the heavenly star, the sun, the Helios. Some of the priests, however, say that Hephaestus was their first king, Ptah, since he was the discoverer of fire and received this rule because of this service to mankind. For once, when a tree on the mountains had been struck by lightning and the forest nearby was ablaze, Hephaestus, Ptah, went up to it, for it was winter time, and greatly enjoyed the heat. As the fire died down, he kept adding fuel to it, and while keeping the fire going in this way, he invited the rest of mankind to enjoy the advantage which came from it. Then Kronos became the ruler, and upon marrying his sister Rhea, he begat Osiris and Isis. According to some writers of mythology, but according to the majority, Zeus and Hera, whose high achievements gave them dominion over the entire universe. So of course, when it's speaking about Kronos and Rhea, you're speaking about Nut and Geb. So from the last were sprung 5 gods, one born on each of the 5 days, which the Egyptians intercalate. The names of these children were Osiris and Isis, Asar and Aset, Typhon, which is Set, Apollo, and Aphrodite. And Osiris, when translated, is Dionysus. So when you see Dionysus, it's also Asar. And Isis is more similar to Demeter than any other goddess. And after Osiris married Isis and succeeded to the kingship, he did many things of service to the social life of man. And then here's a beautiful image of some musicians in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, playing some beautiful tones and dancing. All right, so let's keep reading. So now Osiris was accompanied on his campaign, as the Egyptian account goes, by his 2 sons, Anubis and Macedon, who were distinguished for their valor. Both of them carried the most notable accoutrements of war, taken from certain animals whose characters was not unlike the boldness of men. Anpu, wearing a dog's skin, and Macedon the 4 parts of a wolf, and it is for this reason that these animals are held in honor among the Egyptians. He also took Pan along on his campaign, who is held in special honor by the Egyptians, for the inhabitants of the land have not only set up statues of him at every temple, but have also named a city after him, the Thebaid, called by the natives Chemo, or Chemo, which when translated means city of Pan. In his company were also men who were experienced in agriculture, such as Meron in the cultivation of the wine, and Triptolemus in the sowing of grain, and in every step in the harvesting of it. And when all preparations had been completed, Osiris made a vow to the gods that he would let his hair grow until his return to Egypt, and then made his way through Ethiopia. And this is the reason why this custom with regard to their hair was observed among the Egyptians until recent times, and why those who journeyed abroad let their hair grow until their return home. While he was in Ethiopia, their account continues. The Satyr people were brought to him, who, they say, have hair upon their loins, for Osiris was laughter-loving and fond of music and the dance. Consequently, he took with him a multitude of musicians, among whom were 9 maidens, who could sing and were trained in the other arts. These maidens being those who among the Greeks are called the Muses, and their leader Hegetes, as the account goes, was Apollo, who was for that reason also given the name Mus Agetes, leader of the Muses. As for the Satyrs, they were taken along in the campaign because they were proficient in dancing and singing, and every kind of relaxation and pastime, for Osiris was not warlike, nor did he have to organize pitched battles or engagements, since every people received him as a god because of his benefactions. In Ethiopia, he instructed the inhabitants in agriculture and founded some notable cities, and then left behind him men to govern the country and collect the tribute. So here in the Greek account, you see all the Greek names being mixed in and associated with the Natiru, and the going back and forth. And But this is why it's also important to read these writings, because just like everything else, within the lie, there's truth sprinkled within it. So we can also verify that some of the things that the Kemetians say, that the Greeks also said it as well. And this is who taught the Greeks. We are the ones who taught them and gave them their ability to do what they do, to become civilized. So in the Greek records, they say that Osiris had 9 maidens with him that were musicians and artists. So once again, they're saying the muses come from Asar. Okay, so this is Hesiod, 8th or 7th century BC, composed in Greek. Hesiod, thus sing the muses who have their homes on Olympos, the 9 daughters born of great Zeus, Clio, Euterpe, Thalia, Melpomene, Terpsichore, Erato, which then created erotica, or what that form of language from Erato, because she dealt with love poetry. Polyhymnia, which then created your hymns. The music of hymn comes from polyhymnia. Urania, which created Uranus. The astrology comes from this, and Calliope, the most important of all. The light from their eyes melts limbs with desire, one beautiful glance from under their brows. And he came to the bed of the bountiful Demeter, who bore white-armed Persephone, stolen by Hades from her mother's side, but wise Zeus gave her away. And he made love to Mnemosyne with beautiful hair, from whom 9 muses with golden diadems were born, and their delight in its festivals is in festivals and the pleasures of song. So Mnemosyne is, of course, Greek, the name of a Titaness, mother of the muses, from Greek Mnemosyne, literally memory and remembrance. Memory and remembrance, from pi root men, to think. So with Zeus and Mnemosyne being the mother and father that gave birth to the 9 muses, who are the protector of the arts. So here we have Zeus, which is associated with light, right? From Zeus is Dios, is D, deals with light and fire, and Mnemosyne deals with memory. So here we're dealing with light and fire, and that conjunction is what created the arts, right? All of the what's considered the arts and music. So of course, when you look up music, is going to go back to think, because the muses come from Mnemosyne, which is to remember something, which has to deal with thought process. So let's keep moving. Music comes from muse, and muse comes from men, meaning to think. Is the stories the muses come from light, consciousness, and memory, Zeus and Mnemosyne. So here is Musici Technici, the philosophical practice of music, and Plato, Nietzsche, and Heidegger. All right, here's a mosaic disc with the symbols of the 9 muses and their mother, Mnemosyne. Calliope, which is a writing board. So once again, deals with poetry. Urania, which is the globe. Polyhymnia, the pensive face. Erato, with the lyre. Terpesipe, or re. The Cithara, the Melpomene tragic mask. The Thalia, the comic mask. The Euterpe flutes. Clio scroll. And Mnemosyne Mount Peria. Apollo's lyre is in the middle. So the lyre, dealing with lyrics. And if you haven't watched the great Saba Tehuti teach about the lyre bird, so shout out to Bijan Farrell, who asked about the lyre bird, and he gave a fantastic class on the lyre and where that goes back to, and here you see a continuation of that, and why music is associated with to think, because it's dealing with lyre and which creates lyrics. So here's the arts, the 9 muses and the 9 arts: the epic poetry, history, double pipes and music, comedy and pastoral poetry, tragedy, dance, love poetry and lyric poetry, hymns and sacred poetry, and astronomy, which these are the 9 muses born from memory and light. Okay, so toward a musical praxis and philosophy playing temperament and thought. The muses and music in general are named from Most High, searching, and philosophy. Plato, Critolus, 406a. So in the broad historical provenance of the conception of the practice of music technique, ancient Greek culture includes philosophy. So once again, we're sticking with knowledge and thought, to think. So the practice of music, ancient Greek culture includes philosophy. Thus, and traditionally, Heraclitus invokes the greater merits of the hidden attunement, or the backstretch connection that is the secret of harmonious variance. And so you'll see these words to describe a lot of what's being said here can always be interchanged or have words that literally have to do with sound vibration, like attunement. With attune, to be in tune, or harmonious, to be in harmony, or you can play a harmony. For Pythagoras, both mathematics and philosophy are born from the structural nature of music, and with the regulative measure following from an understanding of the political, ethical effects of musical tuning, Plato builds an ideal musical city founded on the same well-tempered measure. And in a similar fashion, Aristotle invokes the ethical idea of musical harmony. In this essay, I retrace the broad definition of music in antiquity to justify the sense in which one may speak of the music of philosophy, and to articulate the practice of philosophy as such a music. I recall Socrates' own account of the contest between the highest music philosophy. So they were considering philosophy the highest of music, which philosophy from philo, loving, and sophia, knowledge. So the loving of knowledge and the loving of wisdom to the Greeks was the highest form of music. And the lowest kind of music, which is rhyming and hymns, along with musical reading of Nietzsche's apophoristic style. And I briefly review Heidegger's thought in its more serialist than parodic musical dynamic. Music, according to the Liddell Scott, is defined as any art over which the muses presided, especially music or lyric poetry. For Homer, the art of the muse, the musa, embraced the broadest range of the fine arts as eloquence or cultivation in general, and to be the musamai for Pericles meant to be educated or cultured. Thus, the appellation musicos would characterize one skilled in music, but also generally a votary of the muses, a man of letters and accomplishment, a scholar. So this is why when you look up music, it goes back to men meaning to think, because the original concept of music was in correlation with thinking, with knowledge, with wisdom. So the sound vibration, the invocation, the tones, this was all music. The studying, putting together and gathering knowledge, gathering wisdom was the highest form of music. So that's not recognized as today, but we are definitely reintroducing what it means to be musical. And I'm gonna continue to show why that's important. So this is the Greek accounts. So now let's get into where the Greeks learned it from. which of course is the people of the Nile Valley. Okay, so now that you have a much better understanding of where the modern day term of music derives from, let me now take you to the original teachings of music and why it derives from thought and memory. Here is one of the Medu words for mind and memory, which is ma'u. Ma'u means to think, to ponder, to bear in mind, to remember, to fix attention on something. Mind and memory. So here's a direct meta word that's associating the mind and memory, which is also the same word for light and the light god, right? Ma'ut, light radiance, brilliant splendor. Ma'u, the light god. Because what? Zeus and Mnemosyne, light and memory, is what brought together, was able to bring forth the 9 muses. The arts of music comes from memory and light. So here we have memory and here we have light from the same vibrational tone, right? Ma'u. Now you are able to be made new through conscious light memory. So ma'ut or ma'it means something new, to be renewed, to be new again, right? Once again, to become young again. All this creates a word for a musical instrument, the ma'it, the reed or the flute. So, because we completely understood that musical instruments that creates the tone, the sound vibration is connected to all of this. It's connected to light. It's connected to memory. Because without that, there is no creation. There is no ability to be able to become anew, to become renewed again, consciously, right? So you can continue to build and evolve. Because without that memory, you'll never be able to build on top of what it is that you had already constructed for yourself. So of course, light and memory will create the same vibrational tone for a reed or a flute, which, as you see right here, also becomes the Maat, which is the foundation in which we stand on, right? So it all correlates and goes into each other. The flute, the Ma'it. So here we see the same vibrational tone creating and telling the story of music. Now that you know, here we see the same vibrational tone creating and telling the story of music. Now that you know, with no memory, there is no music. The Greeks took this concept and gave it to the world as music, techne, the art of the muses. Which techne here comes what? Tekken, musician, player. Someone who plays an instrument, a musician. You see him playing the harp here. You see this sister right here playing the tambourine or a drum. The tekken. So tekkenu means musician player. We completely understood the energetic and physical connection between sound vibration and light vibration, the foundation of creation. This is why the as above, so below, macrocosm, microcosm originates with the Nile Valley, because it's flooded all throughout it in every single aspect. It's if you know where to look, you can see it. The as above, so below principle. So here we have tech, the root word to tekken, musician player. Tech, which is what? The plummet, the little weight which served as the tongue on the scales. Just weight, the regulation of justice, the tekna, the weigher, the pointer of the scales, and the teki, which is the ibis, right? The ibis, the crane, and that's one of Tehuti's names. Teki, a title of Tehuti as the regulator of times and seasons, which then also became the name of the first month, Tehuti. And of course, the dualism principle of the masculine and the feminine, the Tekit, goddess of the first month. So that comes from Teki, the tek, which is the plummet, which associates directly with Tehuti and the ibis bird, which we know, or for those of you who may not know, which is creates the word kim, which means to dig, and it deals with who is Tehuti most widely known for. He's the god of knowledge, the god of wisdom, right? The god of words. So of course, the same word that creates a musician player is also going to be that which is Tehuti, because music and knowledge are they go together. They work together in conjunction because knowledge is music in itself. So this was something that we taught along the Nile Valley through the Meta and which the Greeks took from and started to create their philosophy and music and giving you the muses, and then now creating a succession of music, meaning music, but taking away all of the teachings which helped to keep people in alignment and following Maat by knowing that you are a musician without necessarily playing an instrument, because you are the instrument. And we will get into that a little bit later. But here we have Tech, Tongue of the Scales, Ibis. So here is the Tale of the Eloquent Peasant. And we read this, last week? So this is a beautiful read. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch the Tale of the Eloquent Peasant. So here we are on line 160. Do not utter falsehood, for you are a balance. Do not go off course, for you are impartiality. Behold, you are the sole one with the balance. If it wavers, then you will waver. This is excellent writing. Do not drift, steer your course, pull on the tiller rope. Do not rob, but take action against the robber. He is not truly great who is great only in greed. Your tongue is the plummet, your heart is the weight, and your two lips are its arms. If you veil your face against brutality, who then will reprove evil? So here we have the eloquent peasant who is literally telling the chief steward that, hey, your tongue is the plummet, your heart is the weight, and your two lips are its arms. So he's given a direct metaphor of your face and your ebe being that of the scales, being that which weighs the scales. So you in yourself are a scale. What you speak, what your heart emanates, creates whether your scales are balanced or not. So this is beautiful writing to give a visual representation or audible representation of you being the scales, the makait, to make sure that you bring balance to yourself through your heart and through your tongue, which of course was also taught by Ptah and the Shabaka stone, because that's how he brought creation into existence. He brought it through existence through Ness, through the tongue, and through the ebe. They work together because what comes through the ebe is what allows you to speak. So everything that you speak comes from your ebe, and it creates that vibration that flows up through your vocal tract, through your trachea, and into the back of your throat, where your tongue starts to move and vibrate, and now your lips become doors, and like how it says here, the lips become the arms, that which allows the vibration to come through. And it all starts from the ebe. So here we have the instruction of Amen and Mope, chapter 16. Do not tilt the scale nor falsify the weights, nor diminish the fractions of the grain measures. Do not wish for the grain measures of the fields to cast aside those in the treasury. The ape sits by the balance, while his heart is the plummet, and who is a god as great as Tehuti, the one who discovered these things in order to create them. So here is Amen and Mope, who is saying that the ape sits by the balance, which the ape is a physical manifestation of Tehuti, while his heart is the plummet. And here the eloquent peasant says your tongue is the plummet and your heart is the weight. So if your tongue is the plummet, your tongue is also the heart of Tehuti. So it's a beautiful thing. So who is a god as great as Tehuti? The one who discovered these things, the one who discovered the wisdom, the one who discovered the writings in order to create them. So here is British Museum number EA 9904,4, the fourth plate per Imheru of Nebsani, which is one of the oldest per Imherus. And here we have the Nebsani, which if we look right here, here's his name right here, Nebsani. Scribe Nebseni. He's actually on the scale itself, being weighed against the heart. And then here is the ape who sits by the balance, right? Tehuti, Makait, the two lands. So the one who keeps the balance. And the plummet is this right here. This plummet is what allows the scales to be accurate in its weight. So that which allows the scales to be accurate is the heart of Tehuti, is your tongue. So it gives you a more personalized internal aspect of the power that you hold to create the results that you want to have when it's time to allow your actions to be weighed, right? Your speech to be weighed. And this is something that we do every single day. We have the power every single day to control how this scale tilts or whether it's actually balanced out. And here we have Asar, of course, Lord of eternity, the Nefer Netter, the perfect Netter Asar. All right, so let's keep moving here. So the Tekenu, which is the musician, comes from the Tek, which is the plummet. So as a plummet, what's the plummet? Your tongue is the plummet. Tehuti's heart is the plummet. Your heart is the weight. Your two lips are its arms. So you are literally playing music with what you speak, your sound vibration that you bring forth, how you speak to people, how you speak to yourself. Right? So as a musician, as a speaker, you are a musician, and you are in control of whether or not your scales are balanced. Okay, let's move forward. So here's Tekken, which also means to beat a drum or tambourine, to play an instrument of music. So it goes even further. So it means to actually beat a drum or a tambourine, as you see here, to play an instrument. So to actually play an instrument, the Tekken, from the root word tek, which is plummet. So of course the actual musicians become a part of that, because music is incorporated and built on top of the foundation of creation itself, because it was literally music that brought forth creation. So now you can begin to see what music was originally connecting to and why it means to think. Tehuti being the Netter Erd, which means the great Netter of Hekau or words, and whose name is Teki, the god, the Netter of knowledge and wisdom. So music, men, to think. Tekken, music. Tek, Tehuti, knowledge. And then here is some beautiful images. Private tomb in Saqqara, date period, New Kingdom, 19th dynasty, circa 1290 BC, of a Tekken right here. And here is Het-Heru at the Dera Temple, also being a Tekken. So back to the Diodorus Siculus Library of History, chapter 16. It was by Hermes, for instance, which is Tehuti, according to them, that the common language of mankind was first further articulated, and that many objects which were still nameless received an appellation, and that the alphabet was invented, and that the ordinances regarding the honors and the offerings due to the Netter were duly established. He was the first also to observe the orderly arrangement of the stars and the harmony of musical sounds and their nature. to establish a wrestling school, and to give thought to the rhythmical movement of what? Of the human body and its proper development. So the human body and its proper development is literally connected to giving thought, right, of the rhythmical movement. He also made a lyre and gave it 3 strings, imitating the seasons of the year, for he adopted 3 tones, a high, a low, and a medium. The high from the summer, the low from the winter, and the medium from the spring. The Greeks also were taught by him how to expound their thoughts. So right here, he's telling you who taught the Greeks how to expound their thoughts. Tehuti, which became Hermenia, which became Hermes, right? And it was for this reason that he was given the name Hermes, Trismegistus, thrice great. In a word, Osiris, taking him for his priestly scribe, communicated with him on every matter and used his counsel above that of all others. The olive tree also, they claim, was his discovery, not Athena's, as the Greeks say. So that's the Library of History of Diodorus Siculus, chapter 16. So here we have tekken, which is also to beat a drum or tambourine. From tek, the plummet, also creates the word tekken, which is obelisk. The tekkenui, the 2 obelisks of Ra. So this is a tekken. It's the real word for obelisk right here. And this is the tekken of Usur Maat Re, Septepen Re, which is Ramesses or Remesu the second. This is his tekken right here. So yes, this is a tekken. This is also tekken. And this is also tekken. It's all connected. Here is another direct association with sound, wisdom, and creation. Sound, wisdom, and creation, right? Because the Tekkenu is the musician, the wisdom is the Tek, who is Tehuti, and creation, the Tekken, which is the obelisk, which is a manifestation of the phallus of Asar. Tek, which is the tongue of the scales, the obelisk being a symbol of resurrection and light magic, then becomes what? The bin, right? So bin, which means to copulate, right? Sex magic, copulate, to create, which is what's used to create. The masculine and feminine, to bring forth something. Bin, to copulate, to beget, to begotten, viral, phallus. Bin, a god of generation, a form of men, a phallic god. Binti also becomes a portion of the body. Binti is 2 egg-shaped organs of the body, and Binti also becomes the 2 breasts of a woman. So once again, the duality between the masculine and feminine, the bin, which is the copulate or the phallus, and Binti, which is the 2 breasts of a woman, which all deals with biological imperative and bringing forth life and sustaining it. So now that you know the names of the specific symbols and how it also creates the words for biological imperative and sex magic, does the word bin also have a connection with music, right? Because this is what I'm showing. This is what I'm bringing forth and showing why music goes back to think, and why it's actual creation and creating something is music. So with bin, being the meaning to copulate, and phallus, and binti meaning the 2 breasts of a woman, 2 egg-shaped organs of the body, right? A portion of the body. Does bin also have a word to do with music? Of course it does. Binti, which is harp, because music is creation. So of course it's going to be connected through the same vibrational tones. Hesi im binti, to sing to the harp, the harper, the Hesi im binti. So yes, the binti is absolutely, which is binti, the portion of the body, the 2 egg shapes of the body, from bin to copulate or phallus, which then also becomes the top of the Tekken, the apex. Right, so here at the top of this Tekken here, this right here is the bin, which is also another word for harp. So this is music in itself. The Tekken being to play a drum or to play a tambourine, and this right here is the harp. Once again, putting instrumentation together. So just even looking at this is a symphony of music. So yes, Binti is harp. And here's a beautiful image here in the tomb of, or the Ptah of Ramesses III, KV11. Here's a harper as he's giving it as an offering. So an offerings to the Natiru. Beautiful image here of a harper. And here he is again. As a Binti, as a bin. He is a bin. Hesi M. bin. Tomb of Ramesses III, KV11, Corridor C. Side chamber CD with a harpist before Oniris Shu and Ra Herakuti on the northern half. And so here's a depiction, because you see a lot of damage here. But you see the crown right here at the top of this harp. So here's a depiction here, which is beautiful. So you see it here, and you also see the Nefer symbol here, which is also an instrument, which is also connected to the heart and the vocal box, the larynx, the trachea. So, which is an instrument. you are an instrument. So this is can be used for both. Nefer. Right here, beautiful imagery. Okay. So we see the word for harp is binti. The vibrational tones used to give these items and concept names must match. This is also the pyramidion at the top of an obelisk and a pyramid. New Kingdom, 19th dynasty, circa 1292. From Deir el Medina, now in the Egyptian Museum of Turin, C 1603. So here is a bin stone right here. Beautiful bin stone. Right? Asar. Shesh. Right here. Absolutely beautiful. Powerful. Bin, the sanctuary or the bin or sunstone. Bin, the pyramidion of an obelisk or the top of a pyramid. Right here. So, yes. The music that's being played within the metanetter, within the actual physical building of these structures is absolutely beautiful. So another word for the apex of an obelisk, of a Tekken, what is Hui? Hui, which also means illumination and light, right? Because that's what the apex is a symbol, a representation of the Aten, of the mirror of Ra, right? To illuminate, to become enlightened, right? At the peak, when you're at the peak, you're enlightened. And Hui also creates what? To beat, to strike, to slay, to kill, to hammer metal, to thresh, to tread grapes, or to strike a harp, to work a plow. So yes, Hui is to strike a harp, which is also another name for the apex of a Tekken. The Hui, which also means illuminate, to give light. So this is all incorporated within the musical instruments of, so when you pick up an instrument or when you see a music player or when you're learning an instrument, you're able to really understand that what you're doing literally is bringing forth into existence, and even as a speaker, it's very powerful to know this and understand these concepts, which gave birth to the other cultures that utilize this magic to place themselves in a specific position, and now they utilize it to maintain themselves in a specific position, which is why the music is the way it is, which is why you cannot go on any type of mainstream station on any type of music and hear any type of consciousness. The knowledge is gone out of the music. There is no knowledge, there is no thinking when it comes to even utilizing it in the music to, hey, how did he do that? This right here, I learned something. There's never none of that no more. It's complete isfet and chaos, and they utilize the magic of sound vibrational tones, which all this is connected with, to maintain in a position, in a state in which they are. So it's important for us to really understand this, so that way we can stop partaking in it and start to create a new reality and present new tones, to place ourselves back at an apex ourselves, to put ourselves back up at the top, so we too can become illuminated beings as the Neter did. So Hu, which sprang forth from Ra, along with Sa, which are directly connected to musical instrumentation, sound vibration, vocal tone, and commanding and creation. So here in the Purim Haru, they came into existence as the Neter, are in the following of Ra, Hu, and Sa. Hu means to command, to strike a harp. It also creates Hui, which means to illuminate and is the apex of a Tekken, which is the obelisk, and to beat a drum or tambourine. Do you hear the symphony that's being played? Now the word Sa means to know. So here is Sa, recognize, know, understand. Once again, showing that music is knowledge and directly connected with thought and memory. So here we have S, just the sound S or Sa, because the vowel can go before or after. S, As, or Sa, right here, equals Sa. To know, Sa, which is also a name of Asar, shepherd. So Asar's title was the shepherd. Sa'u, sorcerer, enchanter, reciter of spells. Sa is also an object that gives or bring protection, a talisman, amulet of protection. For a complete and extensive breakdown on the Hu and the Sa, along with rituals to utilize the tones for OBEs and to connect with the primordial waters, email Saba Tehuti at mysticaltelevision@gmail.com and request MetaNetter classes 47, 48, and 51. Or go to teachingsofmaat.org/medunetter, MEDUNTR. So just even with this, with what I'm showing, the Hui being illumination, apex of an obelisk, and to strike a harp. And then showing that the Hu and the Sa, which of course comes from Ra. Ra comes from, or Ra creates the Hu and the Sa. He literally removed a part of himself, and what sprung forth from the removal. He removed his phallus, and from the blood came Hu and Sa, because it's a representation of having to consciously remove something from you, which is a thought. It's a consciousness. It's not an accidental thing. It goes to show that that which sprang forth from Ra, everything shooting out from Ra, the planets and everything comes from Ra, comes from the sun. It was all conscious. It wasn't just the accidental things blew up. It was a conscious. So because Ra had to consciously remove the part of himself that which is the literal physical manifestation of creation. So we cut a part of himself that deals with creation to create everything else. So It's a beautiful and very powerful and deep story in which Hu and Sa comes from. Which from the blood of Ra, literally, the creative aspect of him. So the Sa being the SYRINX right here, or the flute, which is what this is, meaning to know. So once again, literally music goes back to think, which thinking means to know something, thought, memory, knowledge, wisdom, which created their philosophy. And philosophy is the highest form of music, right? It's right here in the metanetter. So I'm gonna play something here. Of a very cool video that I found. So let me share my screen to that. Hope you all are enjoying this presentation so far. Okay, let me stop sharing and then let me share my screen again. Go here, go there. Let me pause the music and show that another way these brothers took the drum aspect and the actual what's called the pan flute, which of course in the Greek stories, as I showed, being associated and to Asar, to them. So it becomes a aspect of everything, pan-African, pan-gender, deals with everything. So they called it a pan flute, but it's really a SYRINX. And here it is here. And let me make sure that the sound is up. Okay, yes it is. All right, here we go.
Awesome.
Right? So creative and just fills you up with life. It's beautiful. All right. Yes. Did you all appreciate that? I'm gonna keep going, but Let me get some feedback from the chat.
Angela Gates says that PVC pipe. Nefa Caparet says that sounds so good.
Yes, that was a PVC pipe. Took some PVC pipe and put it on this little metal support system and took their flip flops and went to work. Started creating.
Amazing.
Yes. All right. Let's see what Robert Reyes says. It says Sa to know, Ba soul. Sa Ba, the soul that knows, the knowing soul. All right. Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about these words. Absolutely. And of course, Saba, meaning door, doorway. And Saba in itself means knowledge, right? Saba in itself means wisdom. And you know another thing Saba means? It means to play the flute. So once again, music associated with knowledge, absolutely. All right, let me keep going. Bijan Farrow is in the building. Hotep Maat just came in. Peace and love. Hotep to you. That was fire, absolutely. Angela Gates put 100 with some flares or some bombs. Currently trying to find that type of vibe in the city. Well, you may have to go to some woods, somewhere you may have to travel, because I don't know if you're gonna find that in the city. Hotep Meri Maat. All right, let's keep it moving. So that's the Sa. Okay, so that's the Sa right here. So of course, like I said, for a complete breakdown on the Who and the Sa, and it being actually connected to the primordial waters and being connected to Ra, and actual tones that we can utilize for OBEs and to connect with the Netzer, email Saba Tehuti at mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. And that link should be also in the description box for those who are watching out of the live. And if it's not, let me put this up real quick for you all. mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. Email Great Saba Tehuti and ask for those classes, because he completely went into answered so many questions when it comes to the Who and the Sa, and two of the sisters who were doing the practice actually began to some other things started to happen. So a question was brought up, and the Great Saba Tehuti clarified and took it even deeper. So make sure you get these classes, 47, 48, and 51, if you all don't have that. Okay. Part of the exhibited artifacts in Egypt's Tahrir Museum in celebration of World Music Day. So here you see a group of brothers and sisters getting together and playing some music, right, with the harp and clapping, the clappers, which is also another instrument you can find, literally hands like made like this, and there were clappers used to make claps. So this is beautiful right here. And then here we have British Museum number EA24564. New Kingdom from the tomb of Ani. So this was also found in Ani's tomb. So what's another word to play the harp? Oosh. Oosh, which also means oosh, to cry out, to praise, to adore. So you'll also find connections in just about every source with playing music, with having to cry out or to praise, right? To pray, to adore, to give adoration, the oosh. So to play the harp is the same vibrational tone to give adoration, right? Because adoration, the actual crying out, the actual praising is music too. It is all music. Another word for playing the harp is ush, which also means to cry out or praise. Oh, I didn't show the other meaning of hu. Hu-ib, which means lamentation, sorrowful man, or hoot, cry or outcries, a death cry. So to cry out, outcries, sound, vibration, noise, hoot, and lamentation, to be sorrowful, to cry. Which, as I showed, just showed with the hu, going back to strike a harp, the apex of an obelisk, and to give light. So the hu-ib also means to lamentate, to cry out, right? Because it's all music. So it means lamentation, wait. Benti, which is harp, or hesi im bent, benti, to sing to the harp. Remember this, the word for sing here is hes, the hes, right? That's the word for sing, hesi im benti, to sing to the harp, the harper. So the word for sing here is hes, which hesu is chant, song, any rhythmical composition, the 70 chants or songs of Ra. The important number 70 there. Hesi, to sing to the accompaniment of an instrument. So one of the actual words for rhythmical composition, what we know today of music, is hesu, or hes. So the Medu for song, chant, or any rhythmical composition, what we know today is music. Hesiu, which also means what? Hesiu is singers, musicians, musical entertainers, professional mourners, male singers, female singers, or wailing women. So it's right there, to sing is being directly associated with mourning, right? To mourn, crying, wailing, and outcry. So we're going to show why that's directly associated with music, right? So hesi, hesu, one to whom grace and favor has been shown by Asar, i.e. a dead person, one who is approved by a neter. So we have hesiu and hesu, which also means praises, hymns, or praise songs. So the singing, the musicians, once again associated directly with praising, right? To give adoration to an actual hymn, song, and wailing. And hes, which then goes to create the na, with the na in front of it with the waves, the actual sound vibration of the waves, the na hes, which means to mutter incantations, right? To mutter incantations, which just the hes in itself is to sing, is music. So the music, the singing, the hes creates the na hes, with the actual vibrational tone in front to mutter incantations. So who are the two mourners that the followers of Maat imitated through ritual in the Per Haru? Right, so we have professional mourners. Let me come back to the chat and let me ask, who are the two mourners that the followers of Maat imitate through ritual in the Per Haru? Who are the two mourners? So I'm gonna come back to the chat here and see what you all have. Who are the two mourners?
Stephen E says Offset and Naptet.
All right. Absolutely. Who else has an answer? Who are the two mourners that the followers of Maat imitated through ritual in the Per Haru? Hotep to the brother Nuru, who says, Tua, Tua, great Ani, brilliant lesson. Those flutes, though. Absolutely. I know you would definitely appreciate this class here, and you helped to inspire it. So Hotep to you, good brother Nuru. Yeah, Stephen E says Aset and Nebet Het. I don't see anyone else answering, but I'll go ahead and say that yes, that is the correct answer. Good brother Stephen E. Tua for your participation. Okay, so the Herti, who is Isis and Nephthys, or Aset and Nebet Het, and the Herti, grief, sorrow, lamentation. So the same word for Isis and Nephthys creates the word Herti, which is grief, sorrow, and to lamentate. Kart, Ka'art, which is widow. The two widows, Aset and Nebtet. So the two widows, which is why they became in the energy of lamentation, because of the death of Asar, right? So it made them widows. So that actually creates the word Herti, the Isis and Nephthys, and Herti, which means lamentation. So yes, Aset and Nebtet are the two mourners that the followers of Maat imitated through ritual in the Purim Haru. So this is something, this plays a huge part in the actual resurrection process, right? The lamentation of the Neterets. So yes, Aset and Nebhet, the outcries the two Neterti gave became the words for music. So yes, Aset and Nebtet, these two Neterets, also one of their titles is the Neterti, became the words for music, which is Hayit, as you see Aset right here, and Nebtet here, the two weepers right here with their arms up in the position of weeping, which Hay, which is music, joy, gladness, and Hay, which is an interjection O, cries and lamentations. So the literal weeping of Aset and Nebtet creates the word for music. Hay, which then also creates the word for husband, which goes back into copulation, because it's always going to be connected. It's literally, it's all sex magic happening through what we're experiencing. It's just important for us to really understand this and see the connections between it all, so you can actually begin to create. As literal physical copulation allows for creation to come forth, it's if you implement that in everything through your tones, through your sound vibration, through creating everything to be a ritual, then you're able to really begin to produce the Heka'u, the magical tones, which then creates what? Hex. Hex is negative magical spell. Hex is six is sex. So they understood that it's complete sex magic, and why they took the language from tongue to recite something, spell to recite something, and connected it to hex and made it negative through the six and sex. So, and then put lust in the Bible as a negative thing, because they understood all this, and they say, hey, we don't want them knowing this. They can't know this. They can't know that they're actual musicians, and them that they're literal walking sex magic and walking instrumentations and walking sound vibrational energetic magnets. No, we need them scared of this. So that's why they created what they did. So the Hai, the two weepers, the Hai, the music, and cries lamentation. So here is Aset and Nebtet right here, to be placed in the Grand Egyptian Museum. Some beautiful statues here of them in the lamentation position of, as you see, with the hands over the face up to the eyes, as you also see right here in the glyphs. So here we're going to go to the pyramid text. Spells for entering the womb of Nut, burial chamber, sarcophagus, and West End. Number 14, recitation by Isis and Nephthys. The screecher has come. The kite has come. It is Isis and Nephthys. It is Aset and Neptet. They have come in search of their brother. Asar, in search of their brother, this Pepi. Haste, haste. Weep for your brother, Aset. Weep for your brother, Neptet. Weep for your brother. Aset has sat down with her arms atop her, and Neptet has seized the tip of her breast. For their brother Pepi, baby-like on his belly, Asar in his danger, Anpu with grasp forward. So here in some of the oldest spiritual writings, the pyramid text of Pepi, given the actual account of Aset and Neptet weeping and placing and going into weeping positions, which one of them is placing the arms above the head and another one is seizing the tip of the breast. These are positions of weeping and lamentation, which then becomes adoration and praise for their Neter Asar. EA 10188, Lamentations of Aset and Neptet. Which is called the Lamentations of Aset and Neptet. Right here, EA 10188 in the British Museum. Isis sings. So right here is being associated with song. And I have the metadata here to accompany these lines here. So even as I desire to see thee, I am thy sister Aset, the desire of thine heart. Right? Nook, Shenit, Nook, Aset, Mert, Ebe. So I am thy sister Aset, the desire of thine heart, yearning after thy love while thou art far away. I flood this land with tears today. So this is Aset singing, and this is music being produced, her actual lamentation. She's crying out. This is why crying out is later became something with just speaking loud. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're literally crying to cry out. And that's because when Aset cried out, yes, it was associated with tears, but it's also with the sound vibration and projecting her voice and in praise. Even I desire to see thee. I am thy sister Aset, the desire of thine heart, yearning after thy love while thou art far away. I flood this land with tears today. And here, let's go back into the pyramid text. This is the pyramid text of Teti. Spells for entering the womb of Nut. Recitation: the sky shall speak, the earth shall shake at your ferocity, Asar, as you make emergence. You milk cows who are there. You must nurse cows who are there. Go around him, bewail him, beat your breast for him, mourn him as he makes emergence and goes to the sky among his brothers, the gods. So once again, Nephthys has seized the tip of her breast. Beat your breast for him, mourn him. This is a sign of lamentation. And here we have a beautiful image in the Met Museum, a session number 1998.98 of this actually being done. Of this beautiful sister here doing the ritual of mourning, of lamentation, of beating her chest as a sign of mourning for the one who has transitioned, the one who has gone through that process so that he can be resurrected, right? Beat, which is the same thing as beating a drum, which is the same thing as the heart beat, right? That which brings forth life. So this is a very powerful symbol and ritual of resurrection. So how important is the mourning process? It is necessary for the resurrection and rebirth, as this became the catalyst for the gathering of Asar's body. This is why the rebirth of the sun is also called mourning. As the sun is rebirthed from the womb of Nut, it then becomes the word mourning, right? Because that was a concept in Kemet. That was a concept in the Meta Netter. Nepu, which means dawn, early light. Nepu, morning light. Nepu, or Nepi. Nepiu, to mourn. So of course, to mourn, morning light is the same word, Nehepi, Nehepu, he who prays. So of course, the Freemasonic language, they'll say that the sun rising is morning, because the sun rising is a rebirth process, and it was mourning that was needed and necessary for the rebirth of Asar to resurrect, which it was the Tekken, to beat a drum, to tambourine, but also the obelisk, which was the phallus of Asar, and the apex, which is the hui, which is also to strike a harp, which is to illuminate. So the morning, the rising of the sun is the morning, because that's literally what the Meta Netter teaches. Nehepu, morning, Nehepu, to mourn, which of course goes right back down to dealing with prayer. Professional whalers on a ship in Neb Amun's Rip Aryan funeral procession. So here we have professional mourners. So it may not even been someone who was connected with the person who's transitioning. That was an actual profession to recreate, reenact Aset and Neptet mourning for Asar. This is how important it was. So through the funeral processions, they would have mourners here, as you see, with their arms up. Right here, giving praise. Right here with the arms up, doing a recreation of Aset and Neptet, which is why a lot of the times in the Purim Haruz, you'll see the women being painted white, because that's also a reenactment of the paleness that Aset and Neptet came experienced through the actual lamentation process. So it's all a ritual of resurrection and magic, which literally creates the foundation of what we know of today as music, right? To cry out. This is all music that's being played, right? So it's important to understand the stories that go along with this. So when you're creating music, when you're listening to music, you know it's not just, hey, I'm listening to this song. No, it's not that at all. That's why everyone's hypnotized. Because they think you're just listening to music. Okay, so that's the lamentations, all right? The two weepers, which creates the word music, Hai. So this is why crying out also can mean to shout. Proudly, let me fix this, let me get it right. This is why crying out also means to shout loudly, praise, rejoice, and sing, therefore creating music. So here we have the word nahem, to cry out, to lament, to cry, which is also another word for a musical instrument, which is also the same word to beat a tambourine or to beat a drum. To rejoice, to praise. Nahem, lamentation, musicality, to praise. This is music here. This all is music, which we know, as I showed earlier, went to create the muses, the arts, which are all females and women, because that's literally what's necessary to be able to create music. Music is far more than just a song being played or sung. Music is embedded within our genetic makeup. It is directly associated with creation, which is a conscious energy we know of as thought. In antiquity, there was a story attached to the creation of music. It had purpose and love rooted within its inception to ensure eternal life through resurrection by the feminine energy. A thought in itself is music. It too carries a frequency that can be measured and viewed as a wave, just like the sound of an instrument. Before our tools of today, An easy way to see that sound vibration travels as a wave is by using that which makes natural waves, water. So here we have an image of water here with sound vibration going through the water. And I have a good demonstration here that I want to show you all. A quick 45-second video. All right, here we go. As we see him moving around the singing bowl, which creates a vibration, you can literally see the waves in the water that the sound is making. So this is the original way to see sound, right? It's through water. So through water, we were actually able to see sound vibration, which plays an important part in more of the story, right? And how important water is. And as I've showed in different classes, and our great Saba Tehuti has also showed how speaking into water literally changed the molecular structure of it. And you can research this through Dr. Emoto. So even, through, to be able to speak into your water, creating labels, that which goes around your water, because just even the label that's around your water emits a frequency. So it literally shapes your water that goes within you. And with you also being made up of water, you're literally, as you speak, you're literally vibrating. Literally. So this is happening within you on a very minute molecular level, which is why it's so important to be very aware of what you speak. So here is hu, the inundation, and hua, which means to decree, to order, to command. The actual vocal sound vibration in hu, which is inundation, rain to rain. Everyone, make sure you get those meta netter classes to really take this way deeper than what I'm presenting right here. To get more on this, you have to get the meta netter classes. So which is why the word for name are two symbols that is used to create through sound vibration and water, which is Ren. So Ren, as you see, is a mouth and there's waves. As I just showed the actual vibration of waves being shown through water, right? This is Ren, which means name, which goes within a Shinu. Shin, which means eternity, to cycle forever, eternity, infinity. The Shin, eternal life. And Shinu also is a word for magician. So, so the Shin, which is eternal, that which the name goes in, is also the same word for musician, Shinu. Remember the lamentation and tears used for rebirth? Well, from this action also created the Kemetiu. So from the tears used for rebirth, this created the Kemetiu, which created the word Remech. I used that word earlier. Remech, which means Egyptians. But right here is really Reth, but in different attestations, there may be an M. So that's why sometimes you'll see an M here and sometimes you won't. But it's the Remeth, the Reth, the Egyptians. So here also, page 436 of the dictionary. Reth, men, man. i.e. the Egyptians and the Duat. They were formed of the tears, the Remetu, that fell from the eyes of Ra. So the actual Kemetians were formed from the tears that fell from the eye of Ra. So once again, having tears dealing with the creation of mankind, dealing with creation, the tears, the lamentation, which Rema also, Rem-A, which means a great man, a rich man, right? To be great, Remu, people, mankind, men. See Remet, Remeth, Reth, the Rem-2, which is also Aset and Neptet, the two weepers. They're the Rem-2. This then is also a name of Ra, Remi, one of the 75 forms of Ra, which is also the great brother Atef, Rem, Kim, Maat. Henu to you, great brother. So yes, this is directly associated with creation. The two weepers, the weeping of the eyes of Ra, which is also one of his names, which created the name of the actual Kemetian people, the tears from the eyes of Ra, the Remet. Powerful. So muse, verb, to reflect, to ponder, to meditate, to be absorbed in thought. So muse, to reflect, to ponder, to meditate, to be absorbed in thought. Just earlier, I stated that we are able to visualize brain activity and it is shown as waves. One of the methods of doing this is called electroencephalograph, EEG. Let us take a look at this. So this is what is used to calculate brainwave function and determine the four main states of brain activity. So electroencephalography, right here you see electrodes attached to this like cap, and it goes on the brain. So therefore it produces an EEG reading of waves. The same thing you see in the water when you produce a vibrational tone. The brain waves emitted here on this EEG screen. And here's what it actually looks like. A bunch of nodes that has some type of gold or silver on the bottom of it for conductivity purposes, to be able to transmit the actual brain wave through these electro nodes, and then it produces these waves that you see here. And so this is where we get the actual brainwave states, the gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. So when you see this, it's like, hey, how do you get these? Where do these come from? And it comes from actual EEG readings, electroencephalograph. So gamma, 30 hertz or higher, which is awareness, superconscious, highly attentive states of consciousness and perception, involved in higher mental activity and the organization of information. The beta wavelength, which is alertness, conscious, fully awake, alert, ordinary reality, or functional in the third dimension and middle world. So this is the state most people are in an awake state. Alpha, 8 to 12 hertz. Subconscious, deeply relaxed, light hypnosis, meditation, biofeedback, daydreaming, just before and after sleep, a mystical state, listening to music, watching a movie. Theta, 4 to 7 hertz, superconscious, drowsy, tranquil, unconscious, light sleep, shamanic journeying, access to the fifth dimension and non-ordinary reality, the upper and lower worlds. And delta, which is 1 through 3 hertz, dream state, deeply unconscious sleep, astral travel, dreaming, and visiting other realms. So this is why it's also important to lower, slow down your vibrational brainwave pattern to be able to reap these more deep conscious states. So this is read by the electroencephalograph, right? The waves, the brain waves, brain, music, think, because it's all connected. So this process called EEG is a wonderful source to show that thought literally creates vibration waves such as music. And here's another chart here. Normal awake EEG, contributed by Aryampara M. Bill and Il Kumar MD. And here you see the waves of the beta and then waves of the alpha. And then here is a wave of music tone. So the reason why I wanted to show this is because the same showing that thought is literally music. You're literally creating through what you think, through actually breathing and existing, yet physically, because your body is an instrumentation, but your thoughts too, because your thoughts create these vibrational waves that you don't see unless you're under some type of instrumentation that can read this. Is no different than looking at some waves being played from music. So let me show you all what this looks like in real time, music forming waves just like thought. I will utilize an instrumental I am creating for my upcoming project. So I'm gonna show you all. I'm not sure of how many of you have actually looked at the wave function that is created through music and sound vibration, but as a music engineer, that's all I look at. That's all I see are waves, different types of waves, and what different tones create different waves. So I'm gonna show you all this in real time of sound vibration. So let me stop sharing. And brother Atef Rim Kim Maat, oh peace Menkhu Ara.
Go ahead, good brother.
All right, I'm going to play this and let me know if the sound is nice and loud. All right, I'm gonna take you all into FL Studio, which is a great digital audio workstation that allows you to create music. Okay, so let me know if you can hear this.
No.
You can't hear that?
Nothing.
Okay, hold on, let me stop sharing. Let me do this again. You can hear it? You can hear that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Can you hear me over top of the music clear? Okay. So this is the wave function of the music that you're hearing. I'm secure with who I am, I know I'm more than man. This and that to talking when I walk and move the land. Move the language, move the tongue like a road as I traverse through waters created from the throat. I am the hidden one, this a visual, this residual. I'm the hidden one, this a visual, this residual. I'm the hidden one, this a visual, this residual. One and only, the only one okay with standing lonely. Please don't act like that you know me. walk with fire. Outer body travels, you got cold feet. Evolved versions of the old me that was the old me. Now I reversed age, became younger. Time no longer has a number. To feel that hunger, I consume light and eat sun rays. Like all year is summer, demon hunter. The truth is the only thing that motivates me. These motifs are mathematical speeches coming straight from where the Eve is. That's heart. Eve also means to be cleansed. This Aneta talking. When I walking, sun walking, moon running, smooth as ice, cool runnings. Assume nothing. Proof is in the movement. Remove assumption. Stop talking. Please do something. Move something. Portal open. I jumped in. Carving my reality. My name is Ptah. Balance beaming. The sound of freedom. Found a reason why most are still soundly sleeping. Spellings. Hypnosis. Break that to amount achievement. Mountain of keys. Golden. It's inundation season. 3 reasons. Trifecta. Fight for rights of my ancestors. I only speak truth within these lectures. Fact check me. Fact that checks is me. There's no rest in peace. The work continues. Eternal life is the only option on the menu. Need to stand tall as men. You should know his name more than Jesus. Firm in my creation stories. The masses giving all the glory to Allah. Stolen stories. Blacks worshiping European gods. See, we started spirituality. The origin of energetic calculations. Outer body. Knowledge of the double realm. Deity, it comes from Dios. Dios comes from D. D is the fire that resides within me. God comes from 2 words. Gu and Goot. Gu is libation. Goot is invocation. God is also connected to Zeus. Well, see, Zeus is Amun Ra. Death doesn't really exist. They tricked you into thinking that it is. The only one, the one and only, okay with standing lonely. Please don't act like that you know me. Walk with fire, outer body travels, you got cold feet. Evolved versions of the old me that was the old me. Anyway, that was something real quick. Just so you can just so you all can
I mean, you know I'm a big fan, bro. You know I'm a big fan. I love it, bro. I love it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a fan, brother. I love my brother. I love it, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I ain't mean to cut.
Absolutely. Tua. Yeah, I thought I'd just give y'all something. I haven't gave you all something a few shows. And it went along. I was able to show you actual frequency and what it looks like when it's being played. So it's no different than if you're sitting with an EEG on your head. You see that same vibrational wave flowing and moving back and forth, just like when you're playing music, because it literally is music. It's thought. It means to think. To think is to create music. And that's what I wanted to show. So Hotep, everyone, peace for that. I see a lot of flames in the chat. Tua for that. All right. So let me keep moving as we go to close out here. So the body is literally a symphony of tones and vibrations. The ancestors knew this. This is why the Masons copied this and coded it into their language. Your heart has a beat. Your thoughts create the word music. The main internal parts of the body are called organs. The same thing used to create music. Organ, musical instrument. Musical instrument, organ of sense, organ of the body, literally that with which one works. Pi root word to do. The biological meaning body part of a human or animal adapted to a certain function is attested from late 14th century. Early 15th century, a tool, an instrument. The broad etymological sense of that which performs some function is attested in the early 1540s. By 1788 as a medium, an instrument of communication. So yes, your body is composed of organs, the same thing that is used to actually create music, sound, vibrational tone, because you are an instrument. You are literally walking musicality, your rhythmic composition as a physical body, and your thoughts. So you all are all musicians. And it's very important to really understand this because we can just look around and see how powerful music has on us. So when we incorporate the magical energy into the sound frequency and sound vibration, you get tones that are uplifting. You get tones that are healing. You get tones that give you life. So when this is now constructed in an order, it becomes organized. This is how everything communicates. All of this is a universal form of communication. The same way the brain is able to communicate with a device to be seen, the EEG. By the way, how does this process work? How is the EEG able to receive communication from thought? This is only possible due to Betz cells, a very important neuron that once again allows communication to occur. So an EEG doesn't just work by just putting something on your head and it just works by itself. No, the actual cell, an actual neuron in your brain does something specific to allow that EEG to carry that communication. Because what is communication about? It's about being able to an input and an output, right? An input and an output. Just like a phone, you have an input, which is the microphone you speak into, and the output, which is what's used to have sound come out of. Input, output, input, output. And that's how neurons work as well, to allow communication between your thoughts to communicate and transmit. Sometimes it transmutes itself into a chemical reaction. But it's very powerful. It's very deep. So let's look. Let's look at this. So basic EEG brain waves. All right, so here's this right here. Here's the EEG node right here. Here's the scalp, the skull, the dura mater, the arachnoid, the subarachnoid space, the pia mater. And then right here, you're getting down into the neurons and the axons. So this is what happens. So this neuron here creates an electrical field that separates the positive and the negative energy that flows through it. So because it separates the positive and negative, now it's able to be picked up. So this communication device right here, this neuron, this Betz cell, does a very important function in creating this energetic field here, in which can be picked up by an electrode, right? So EEG records synchronous firing of pyramidal neurons in cortex. Many combined dipoles. EEG measures combined activity of 10 million neurons. So once again, as you see these cells here, these are called pyramidal neurons because they're shaped like pyramids. They're shaped like MERS. So yes, this is an actual neuron that is a communication device that naturally takes the shape of a MER, a pyramid. Betz cells are the largest projection neurons of the cerebral cortex and are distinguished by their location, large soma and prominent apical dendrite. The health and the integrity of their apical dendrites are paramount for proper modulation, both by local and long distance projection neurons. Upper motor neurons, Betz cells, or corticopinal motor neurons, CSMN in mice, are important components of the motor neuron circuitry. One, because of their ability to initiate and modulate voluntary movement. So these Betz cells here, which are large pyramidal neurons of communication, these are actually play the important role of being able to connect to the spine so that you can actually have voluntary movement. So it deals with the actual control of the motor senses, the motor neurons. Is all because of these pyramidal cells. These cells, these neurons that are shaped like pyramids, allow you to literally move. This is what's happening all within the brain. This right here. This occurs right here in there's around 6 layers to the cerebral cortex, and this right here is majority happens in the 5th layer. So right there in the 5th layer of the cerebral cortex is where you get these active synapses of the separation of the positive and negative magnetic energy that allows the communication to happen so you can move your body. All because of these pyramidal cells. So because of this pyramidal shaped neuron, the brain is able to communicate with the spine, which in return allows you to move voluntarily. So here is a great image here, close up, of what this actually looks like. Right, so this is how information is transmitted in the brain. You know, and you have pyramids in you. You literally have pyramids in your brain that allows you to communicate. So because of this, it begs you to look at certain things, because we understand that the pyramids within you form communication. So this is these graphics show what happens when radio waves hit the Great Pyramid, the Great Aku. This is what happens when you hit the Great Aku with radio waves. You see that there's energy being condensed in specific areas. Right? It's not just random at all. It's very organized, and where you see the actual waves being controlled. Right? So scientists from the Russian University, ITMO, revealed that the Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as Cheops Khufu's pyramid, can focus electromagnetic radiation into pockets of energy from within a hidden room at the pyramid's base. Led by Dr. Audrey Evolukin, scientific supervisor and coordinator of the study. So this is a scientific study showing that radio waves hitting the Great Pyramids allows the Akus are actually focusing electromagnetic radiation into different pockets. Was this a form of communication? So Hui, as I showed earlier, illumination, apex of an obelisk or a tekken. And Hai, music, joy, gladness. And here is the Akut Khufu, the name of the pyramid of Khufu, the Akut, which Aku means light, beings of light, with the Benbent up here, the Benben stone, the apex, the Hui, and Es Akut, laudation, praise, a formula of praise, commemorative formulae of praise of the dead. So Aku, which is light, because the pyramid, the Great Aku, is literally a light structure. And as you see, when it gets hit by radio waves, it actually focuses electromagnetic radiation. So the last wonder of the world, it's gonna remain that until it's not going to be done by any type of scientific atheist. I can tell you that. Without this knowledge and information here, you will not be able to begin to understand what these are. Okay, so to close out, May you utilize this information to recognize you are a manifestation of music. Therefore, you yourself are music. This is the power you have to create. May you rise every morning. Yes, I spelled that like that on purpose. With full memory. May you rise every morning with full memory. Because Esmer means what? To remember, which creates what? The word mourn and memory. The root word to remember, Esmer, creates the word mourning, to mourn someone, and memory. May you utilize this information to recognize you are a manifestation of music. Therefore, you yourself are music. This is the power you have to create. May you rise every morning with full memory. That's being said twice. To reiterate, I have gained power over my heart. Sekim, to gain power. Sekim Atem Tehuti. I have gained power over my heart. Sekim, an instrument of music, a sistrum. To play a sistrum. To obtain power is the same word as the sistrum, a musical instrument. May these tones be heard through the ears of the Ankh to bring you life. May these tones be heard through the ears of the Ankh to bring you life. The word Ankh is ear. Ankh is how you say ear. May these tones be heard through the ears of the Ankh to bring you life. Created by Ptah Aten Tehuti, Hotep, Maat.
Brother, that was absolutely phenomenal. How was my sound effects now? He said they wasn't that great. I had a little setting in there.
It sounds good. I didn't hear it cut out.
All right, good. Yeah, that was fantastic, brother. 2 out for that. Always deep. Man, super deep, brother. I like how you. I love how you started with the Greeks. You show how they stole everything. I love how you do that, my brother. And then bring it on back to the great Ankh in the ear. Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal, man. It's always beautiful. I was sitting up here, I couldn't even write it down. I was just looking at the screen because I have it on the computer, but it's also playing on my TV. So I was looking at the big screen because it was bigger. It's beautiful, man. I love it. I love your teachings, brother. You and Ahati, I be mesmerized. I just be sitting there watching, trying to learn. All I want to do is learn, my brother. So 2 out for that. That was absolutely phenomenal. Shannon says, wow, that was great. 2 out, great brother, Ani Ptah. Roberto Reyes says, incredible, powerful, majestic presentation, Nefer. Nefer Keparet says, Nefer. Absolutely. Menkhu, you back, good brother? I don't know. He having trouble with his internet. Saba was having trouble with his internet. You know the Matrix. You could tell all the lies you want, but the minute you start bringing forth something, the facts, and your foundation is Maat, and Everything go to acting up. The internet go to tripping sometimes. But yeah, that was great, brother. And 2 out for the tones, man. You know, I'm be missing them tones, brother. I'm definitely looking forward to the album or whatever you're gonna bring out, an EP, whatever we're gonna call it. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I love it. I love your teachings, brother. Keep up the good work. Hindu to you. Yeah, it was great, brother. It seems like you've been learning from the great Saba for about 8 years, brother. It's absolutely great. I love it. Stephen E says this presentation was music to my ears. Absolutely. Absolutely. It don't, man, you know, the thing about it is that when you Saba said something a long time ago where he said that that you were the best Kemetic teacher, brother. I agree with that because we're not getting this type of information when we tune in. Well, I don't tune into those other channels no more. You know, shout out to them. I just want to learn. I really don't have time for all the arguing and bickering and gossip and all of that. I just want to learn. So if you're not bringing forth something, first of all, they're not even bringing nothing forth to this level on this magnitude. At least I haven't seen it. You hit me to some great channels where some brothers on there just teaching, and I really loved them channels there. It was something the language of Ramesses. I was checking that out a little bit. You know, that's what we have to do. We everything was stolen from us, as you just illustrated. Everything was stolen from us, even us, our identity, even what we know about us and how we identify. So I'm glad that you showed that we're walking manifestation for music, that we are the instrument. And it's important that we speak a particular way, that we move a particular way, that we keep our even balance, and that we, you know, that Maat is the foundation. It's absolutely, it's necessary. So, you know, it's a process. It's definitely a process, and we all need to work toward it because you are what you do. So if you want to know who you are, what are you doing? You know, if all you're doing is arguing and bickering and tearing each other down, then that's what you are. You can't be a netter, you know. So 2 out for that, great brother. I love it, man. So thanks.
Nini, 2 out, great brother, for your words. You definitely inspired me. Menkhu, you there, good brother?
Yes, I'm here. I'm on my phone. I'm having some serious interference. But I watched the presentation. It was very powerful. Master precision, very deep. Love how you worked in the meta netter and the visuals and the video, and like how you did, how you rhymed in the middle of your presentation instead of the beginning. So always very, very thorough presentations from you. I love because you're in the realm of music and how culture is so important to me. And I love the subject. Just really, really good information to see how the apple doesn't fall from the tree and how we are music and how closely like we are connected to the Neteru and how the pyramids are in us and we are sound vibration and music is to think, and it's all the Maat print has been there from the beginning. The blueprint, the Ptah print has been there from the beginning. We just have to be researchers and find those original articles that show us the proof of the true masters and our connections to them. So Tua, to you for the healing, the wisdom, the knowledge, and empowering us. We're empowered by recapturing everything that you showed tonight. So to you, great brother.
Nini Tua for your words as well, great brothers. Yes, this is a very important topic, you know, to myself, and you know, I usually put some form of teaching on sound vibration in my classes because it's just like the meta netter. You know, when you start to study it, you may understand. You know, you may start at the beginning and say, yes, Ankh is life, but it continues to just go deeper as you come on, as you kim, as you dig, which creates the word for creator, to create something, come on. You start to realize how deeply embedded these teachings are, and if we really want to be able to gain control over our realities, we have to utilize what the ancestors left for us, because that's what the Greeks took, and that's what they utilized to put themselves in place at the position of control, and it passed it down to their children, to where now when you remove yourself from the matrix and you're able to know how important sound vibration is, and you're able to look from the outside in, even if you can understand, okay, yeah, I know this is happening, but it's layers. It's like inception of layers and layers of realization and consciousness to really see how deep this really gets. And so someone can be in a class like this and then leave and then go back into speaking exactly how they were speaking prior to coming in, even though this was just shown. And that's why I consistently show the importance of sound vibration and what we speak and how we speak, and that the Netter taught it. I mean, I'm teaching what the ancient ones taught and what the Netter taught, which is why I was given the name Ptah Aten Tehuti, to teach about sound vibration and words, because it is that important. That without that, none of this exists. Because of the language that we speak, we literally keep ourselves in a hypnotic state, to where it's so deep. But it's very important for us to really understand that we have the power within ourselves to transmute that energy that resides within the Ebe and how we speak, and being more conscious and aware of the music we listen to, of the videos we watch, if you're on social sites, all of that, like what you take in. And that's why the ears is Ankh, because you only want to take in life to the ears, and this is death culture. The music today is death culture and celebrating killing each other, and that's why the youth is the way it is, and we don't celebrate those who are inventors, who are creators, who are bringing forth art that helps people, that heals people. People don't, that's not something today. If you have to dig to find artists like that, and it's a great thing that we do have the ability to traverse whatever realm we want to go into when it comes to the internet. The internet technology is a beautiful tool that can be utilized to exit out the matrix, but it also traps you. It also has the ability to trap you within it. So that's where Maat comes in. That's where the discipline comes in. The structure and the organization comes in. Because the same thing that we have to utilize to remove ourselves is the same thing that can literally place us within it. It's a double-edged sword. Your gift is your curse. So it definitely is very important to utilize this and go through the Per Imharu and go through the Seba'it, which is, you know, the Meta Netter Monday class, why it's so important, and learning the ancient language prior to this false matrix being presented, you know, as I just showed, and how literally music is literally connected to light and creation, biological imperative. That's the type of thinking that we have to reintroduce ourselves and reprogram ourselves with. So when we're walking, you know how powerful you are. When you're walking, you know what you're connected to and who you represent. So that's why it's also very important for whatever your name is. It's always best to earn a name, to get it from someone who's already established, to get it from someone who's earned their name, to give you something. So there's people who walk around who pick a name and are not a living representation of that, and it's a complete disrespect. It's very it's so very important for us to really sit down and take time to change how you speak, to take time to watch how you talk to yourself, and to utilize tones that are in these writings in the Per Imharu and all of the ancient literature that the great brother AFFIRMATIONS Maat has now brought forward for us to go through and start to read this literature. You know, this is so very important that we do this. So, and we've created something to where we can do it together as a collection, as a collective, as a group. We don't have to, yes, you take time to do it yourself, but we have Monday, Meta Netter, where you can come in as a group and study with us, read the Per Imharu, learn these teachings. When you become a member, come in on the Wisdom Wednesday class where we're reading the teachings of Kemetic together, the teachings of Ptah Aten Tehuti, all of the beautiful wisdom Seba'it that guides your walk. Friday pod class, Sunday study guide class. So that's 4 days out of a 7-day week that we've created for all of us to come together and study and learn and practice with each other. So it's beautiful, and I'm very grateful for everyone who lends me your attention and takes notes and utilizes this type of information, because this is what we're doing is something that is heavily inspired by the Netter. And as Amen Mope teaches, the beak of the ibis is the finger of the scribe. And that's literally. So it's important for us to support each other. Support each other for what we're doing and what we're bringing forth to each other. Because if you utilize this class here, you can completely change how you speak. You can completely change your perception of music and of yourself, and attain a superpower because you understand what you're doing, who you are, what you're connected to. So just utilizing this class, and we do this every single week. So you know, just send in your support us, because you know, this is we want this to keep going, and we want people to appreciate, you know, what we're bringing forth. So if you do, make sure to send in a Cash App or PayPal, teachings of Maat. Show your reciprocity. Keep the scales balanced, and show that you appreciate us. Show that you appreciate what we're doing. So if you haven't sent in support from the 18 people who's watching, you know, I would have to ask you to ask yourself, why is that, if you're still here? So Hotep and Henu to everyone who does support, and I'm gonna show the support that came through. Let me pull this up. And let me see. Let me pull this up here. Okay. Present screen. I think that was Nook Poo's first one. Hotep to you, Nook Poo. It's the wrong one. Let me put this other one up for you, because he sends in multiples. 333. Meri Hotep Henu Natirus Ma'akaru Hekau Tua Nini Uk Maat. Unloaded the full clip.
Nick Poo be coming through, bro. Nick Poo be showing up.
Absolutely. Tua, great brother, Nook Poo, Roberto Reyes, teachings of Maat is the echo of Tehuti. Absolutely. Tua to you, good brother, for your support. You don't take advantage of this information. You don't steal from us. You supply, and it's a balanced energy. So Tua to you, great brother, for leading by example. Nook Poo. All right. Next. Segment in the background. Next, we have the great sister, Angela Gates, who sends $10 in for support. To the wonderful sister Angela Gates, who is just amazing with her support. She's consistent, and I know she's she's taking in so much information, and she supports the information. So Hotep and Henu to you, great sister, for being who you are, for showing your support for us, for the TOM, for our great Saba Tehuti, and just appreciating the time and effort and energy that it goes to creating these type of presentations, so you all can easily digest this. So Hotep to you. All right. Let me see here. All right, let me share this. Stephen E. for membership. Come join us, 2072. Stephen E., you can message me on Discord and clarify for me if this is for your actual membership or if this is support. I know you don't have actual membership due until later in the future, but just confirm for me whether or not you want this for that, to apply it to that, or if this is support. So Hotep to you, good brother Stephen E. Wonderful supporter, wonderful member. Yeah, to our good brother for being who you are, and for stepping up. Let me see. I see Shannon Southers says, good point. I'm going to change my schedule for Wednesday. Fire. Beautiful. I look forward to seeing you and having you there live with us. All right. So that was it. But I see that some more support came in. Some good brothers who appreciate this information said, "No, I have to support. I have to." So Tua, let me pull these up. right, here we go. Jay Kirkland, 572 for Nefer teaching Saba Ani Ptah. Maat is music. Hotep and Henu to you, good brother Jay Kirkland. Yeah, you are great, and I truly appreciate your energy and what you bring forth. You have a SCRIIIBE, and your speech echoes that, you know. So Hotep to you, and Tua for appreciating the information enough to support me and support the TOM. All right, and lastly, so what I see so far in the Gmail, this is the last support for now. So for everyone who's watching on the playback, you still send in support for this information. Sincere Austin, Bijan Farrell, $10 for great knowledge. Hinu to you. Hotep, good brother Bijan Farrell, who I think is in the chat. Hotep to you, good brother. Yeah, there he is. Great information. I need Henu. Henu to you. Yeah, Tua for your support. This good brother also just purchased a hoodie. He got a customized Teachings of Maat hoodie. So you can be looking forward to that here very soon. Good brother Bijan Farrell. So Hotep for supporting in that way, and also for supporting this class as well. Good brother. So peace and love to you, and sending you healing and well wishes and energy. And may you utilize the teachings that our ancient ancestors brought forth, that we are now reliving out to and take part of this lesson here when it comes to the mourning, and how that's also connected to praise. So utilize the class today to make sure that you stay in a place of Ma'at, and bring light and love to you. So Hotep to you, good brother. All right, next we got another support in from the wonderful, beautiful sister Shannon Southern, Lady Jaga, 555 for supreme gratitude. Yes, two out to this great sister here, Shannon Southern, who is fantastic. Wonderful MetaNetter student. She's been in MetaNetter class with us for a while, and very magical sister here. So you mess with the TOM, then you're definitely gonna have we're protected by some very powerful netters and netterettes. So Hotep to you, Shannon Southern, Tua for your support and sending that in. And you can look forward to receiving your business cards. Should be there soon. So Hotep to you. All right, so that's the support. If you appreciate us, send in the support. Let us know. Hey, we appreciate the presentation that you brought forth, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the Pathways to Awakening event. It's going to be phenomenal. Live talent show, live performances. I'll perform, do some teaching. Our great Saba Tehuti. We're going to do some offerings, some hetepu, natiru. So everyone, make sure that you get your tickets for that. Become a member. If you want to become a member, just reach out to me, teachingsofmaat.org, and say, hey, I want to become a member. And you'll be able to gain access to the Wisdom Wednesday class. And there's a lot that comes with being an active member when consistency is put in. So it's something that you can be proud of to be a part of what we're doing. And students of the great Saba Tehuti. So Hotep, Henu to everyone. And if you great brother Atefrim Kim Maat or Menkhu Ara Meri Maat have anything to say or add on, feel free, please do.
It was another great show, my brother. I definitely appreciate those teachings, and I implore everybody to check out Wisdom Wednesdays, Metal Netta Mondays, and of course Saba Tehuti's Friday pod class. Teachingsofmaat.org. You can go there and get all the information to everything that we bring forth. I just want to say hello to the great brother Ahati Maat. Love and light to you, great brother. Of course, hello to our great Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, to the master teacher, the best teacher on the planet. It's nobody out there on your level, Saba. So I know you know that. But I'm saying it, and I'm saying it out loud. And everyone that knows the truth knows that that is the truth. So, hello to the great Menkhu Ara Meri Maat, my good brother. Hello to you, Ptah Aten Tehuti. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful teaching today. And hello to everyone in the chat: Shannon Southart, Primordial Thought, Nicholas Noetic. Everybody, Salat. We just got another support from the great Nicholas Noetic. I don't know if you see it on me, just popped up. But Menkhu, you got any words, good brother?
Hello to you, brothers, for all that you are. Another great class. Tua to the chat for your support and your attention. Hail Saba Tehuti. Peace to Ahati, love and light. Very excited for the Meta Netter Monday class. Please join us if you can. Tua to you, Ani, for your dedication, for your brilliant mind, and for your expansive heart. This will be all of these teachings. It's great because they're permanent, right? They're out there now, and they're for the next generations to be empowered by all that we are doing, thanks to the great leadership of Saba Tehuti. So, Tua to everyone. Let's continue to make and create great memories for the future. Hotep.
Yes, Nicholas Noetic sent in NOK 59. Hotep Ma'at to everyone on the panel. Hotep Ma'at to you. Tua for supporting as well. Good brother. We appreciate that. And I'm not sure if you have Cash App or not, but if you do, if you utilize the Cash App, we'll be able to, YouTube won't take as much as they do. I really opened this up for new people who are who just come in, and for later on for the convenience. But I always still implore the people who support to, if you can, through Cash App or PayPal, so that way we receive most of it. But Hotep, Maat to you, Nicholas Noetic, from the very beginning, came in, start supporting. You are definitely leading by example. You're definitely leading by showing the people that, you know, you appreciate what you support and you don't have to wait to do it. So Hotep Henu to you.
Way in Norway. Let me get his brother his bombs, brother.
Okay, so Hotep, everyone. Tua everyone for being here in class. Tua for your attention. Without your attention, this could never exist. So Hotep and Henu for that. The fragrance of tonight is Armani Code by the great Ahati Maat. Maat's fragrance. I'll put that link in the chat for you all to. Let me go ahead and do that now. Right here. I always have a fragrance with me every show, and I have a fragrance specific for whatever show. So for today is Armani Code. Helps me through my presentations because this is Ankh. I know that Ungient is Ankh, so it gives me life. So I understand what it does, and the great brother AFFIRMATIONS Maat also utilizes the Ankh. He doubled the Ankh. So it's beautiful. I love it. Hotep to everyone. Peace and love. Make sure you all get your tickets for the Pathways to Awakening. Get your tickets. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. It's right around the corner. Everyone get your tickets. Hotep Henu to everyone on Rumble. Peace and love. Send a rant. Support us on Rumble as well. Get your merchandise. Just go to teachingsofmaat.org/shop, and you can either message me. I have a WhatsApp on there. You can message me on WhatsApp, or you can email me so we can get you your merch. Maat Wisdom Wednesdays. Everyone come out. The Teachings of Maat members. Make sure you are there. Make sure you're in the Discord. And for those who don't know, the Discord is here. And that link is also in the description box below. So you can just hit that link, join our Discord. We have a meeting coming up this Thursday, the 28th. So September 28th will be our next community meeting. It's free for everyone. Everyone on the Discord, come out, show up, let us know your thoughts. And let's build. You know, last month's meeting was absolutely phenomenal. It was beautiful. We actually talked and got into music a little bit, and it was beautiful. So Hotep to everyone. Make sure it's all MetaNetter Monday. Email mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. And as I showed in the Who and the Sa, and how it comes from Ra, and how Who and Sa is both connected to musical instruments, playing the harp and the SYRINX. It's very powerful. So make sure you get those classes, 47, 48, and 51. 51, this last MetaNetter class, oh my goodness. I got 5 pages of notes from this last MetaNetter class in dealing with creation. And Hu and Sa coming from Ra, and so it's beautiful. So make sure you all get your MetaNetter class. If you ain't got 51, get 51. This was Music in Ancient Egypt, the Kemetic teachings on sound and creation brought into existence by Ptah Aten Tehuti. All right, with that being said, we'll close out with the affirmation that our great brother AFFIRMATIONS Maat will lead us in. Everyone hit the like button on your way out.
Hotep Maat. Another beautiful class. We will end it as we always do with our beautiful affirmation. 2 out for that great teachings, Ani, from the Lamentations of Osset and Nebtet. Even as I desire to see thee, I am thy sister Isis, the desire of thine heart, yearning after thy love, whilst thou art far away. I flood this land with tears today. From the eloquent peasant, behold, you are the sole one with the balance. If it wavers, then you will waver. Do not drift. Steer your course. Pull on the tiller rope. Do not rob, but take action against the robber. He is not truly great who is great only in greed. Your tongue is the plummet. Your heart is the weight, and your 2 lips are its arms. Unki and Maat, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Menhapapet and Maat, Her and Hu Kui, Per Ikut. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
My eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, Frit had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of states effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis, laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.